Hello and welcome to Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations. My name's Carol May Whittick. Most of us are familiar with Valentine's Day that is celebrated on the 14th. There is also the lesser known Self-Love Day on the preceding day, the 13th of February. This week I'm exploring what does self-love really mean. I'll explore the what, the how and the why. And at the end of this episode is a Heart Chakra breathing and visualization practice with Solfeggio frequency 639 Hertz for inviting love, unity and peace. A quote from Rumi: "When you find love, you will find yourself. When you have the knowledge of love, you will then find peace in your heart. Stop searching here and there. The jewels are inside of you. This, my friend, is the holy meaning of love." What is self-love? A quote from Louise L. Hay: "Love is the miracle cure. Loving ourselves works miracles in our lives." From Oscar Wilde: "To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance." Self-love can easily be misconstrued, especially on social media these days when ideas and topics are identified by hashtags. And I did a quick search, and at the time there were over 97 million recent posts with that hashtag on Instagram. Most of them were pointing to selfies and highly posed, scantily clad women. So if I was new to the idea, it would be easy to see why I would think that self-love is something that's about selfishness and vanity. And that could possibly explain why those who misunderstand self-love to this degree are the ones who need it the most. Posting for attention on social media is a cry for external validation. And anybody who understands the true nature of self-love knows that this is the opposite of what self-love is. It's a telling barometer of society that people so desperately desire the clicks and likes of strangers in order to feel wanted that they will pander to the idea of what is considered appealing, which ultimately is a homogenized ideal. If everyone is trying to be one thing, they are ultimately turning away from who they are. We're all individuals. From Ralph Waldo Emerson: "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." And it's interesting that self-love is defined in English dictionaries with words such as conceit, selfish, arrogant, vanity, narcissistic, and in particular narcissistic because anyone who knows a narcissist knows that they actually lack self-love. Whereas self-love has actually been around since Greek philosophy around 350 BC. According to the Greeks, there are 9 types of love. Philia, that's affection and regard, friendship, usually among equals. Pragma, that's long-term love, so based on duty, reason, shared goals. Storge, which is a familial love, so it's like a love for a parent to a child or a child to a parent. Eros, sexual or passionate love, romantic love. Ludos, playful, flirting, seducing, conjugating. Mania, obsessive love. Agape, universal love, love for strangers, love for nature, love for God. Meraki, creative or artistic expression. And Philatia. Philatia is self-love. The Greek philosopher Aristotle believed that self-love or philatia is necessary to cultivate in order to be able to love others. So people who honestly love themselves are resilient, more capable of giving and receiving. Self-love is the unconditional love and respect you have for you. When you truly love yourself, you're only going to tolerate loving, respectful situations and relationships, and including how you relate to yourself. You won't rely on status, you're not in competition with anyone. It's all about the ultimate self-acceptance. You're treating yourself with kindness. You're committed to your personal growth and well-being. You understand yourself and you're loving everything about who you are. You're prioritizing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. People who have more self-love tend to know themselves on a deep level, their thoughts, their feelings and their purpose. Now, this doesn't make them arrogant. They're not people who hold themselves as superior to others. They're resilient people. They're honest to and about themselves, so they're open to admit their limitations and not feel ashamed of them. All of their actions are in alignment with who they are and who they know themselves to be. It's not about sacrificing your peace to please others. It's not about settling for any less than you deserve. Arriving at a place of self-love is a journey, an exploration into the self, because everyone has a unique look on life. And as you move away from mass thinking and ideals, you get to uncover who you truly are. You start to attract people and circumstances to yourself that support your well-being. Why should we foster self-love? From Steve Maraboli, the most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. From Eckhart Tolle, you find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. Self-love is the foundation that allows us to be confident and knowing how to set boundaries with others. It's a practice of self-care. It's a pursuit of our interests and our goals. We feel proud of who we are. We choose things that serve us well. When you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. From Paulo Coelho. People without self-love can be very insecure, highly self-critical, and often fall into people-pleasing. They tend to have no value of their self. They are prone to self-sabotage or make decisions that aren't necessarily in their best interest. Society has made you believe that it's better to put others in front of yourself. Being selfless is seen as being good. Focusing on yourself is demonized and called selfish. But you have to remember you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill yourself up, and then you're able to give from the overflow. If you're constantly giving to others, you're eventually going to be neglecting yourself. That ultimately is going to lead to elements of martyrdom and resentment, and again, that will affect your self-esteem. You'll have internalized anger. You'll start to be passive-aggressive. And also, loving yourself does take work. It's a responsibility. And most people don't want to do the work. From Charles Bukowski, if you have the opportunity to love yourself first. So self-love is a path, it's a practice, it's a choice that you make every day. From Charlie Chaplin, as I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering were only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today, I know this is authenticity. Fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself, but with patience, with compassion, and respect to your own journey. From Sylvester McNutt. So what is self-love in action? How can we cultivate self-love? Here are some aspects I believe will help us on our understanding and our journey to self-love. Self-acceptance, so truly understanding who you are, truly seeing all yourself, your achievements, your mistakes, your goals, and your limitations. Start trusting yourself, start forgiving yourself, be truthful about what you want in your life and who you've been. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. From Carl Jung. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is being aware of your thought process, how they affect your moods, how your emotions can cause you to act and react, what your triggers are. It makes you aware of the thoughts that make you feel angry and act impulsively. You use your triggers as an opportunity to grow, to delve deeper into why those things make you triggered. You find out what makes you happy and understand why it makes you happy. You begin to deeply understand your emotions and build emotional intelligence. Think about your self-talk. How do you talk to and about yourself? What is the story that you tell about yourself to yourself and to others? Can you begin starting to tell the story about yourself with love as someone you love? Self-compassion. Think about how you treat a good friend or a loved one. When you're thinking about them, you probably have an open, curious, and non-judging attitude. Can you do that for yourself? Self-respect. So ask yourself, what is important to me? What are my values? Why do I settle for less? And what could I do to remind me of my value? People who respect themselves understand that they must first look inward to discover their worth, their esteem, and know what constitutes their happiness. Self-protection. You need to understand how to protect yourself, your energy, your emotions, to be able to set boundaries with people who don't treat you well, because you realize that you are the most important person here. You bring the right people into your life. When you love yourself, you set limits. You say no to work or love or activities that would deplete or harm you physically, emotionally, spiritually. And you keep away from people who are committed to misunderstanding you, because sometimes you realize some people will just never see you. Self-esteem. So your self-esteem stems from your self-worth. So if you want self-esteem, work on your self-worth. Remind yourself every day that you don't have to prove why you're here. Your need to accomplish certain things is sometimes because you feel that you need to justify your existence. That's not necessarily the case. Self-esteem is how a person thinks and feels about their own qualities and their characteristics. And this is either described as high or low self-esteem. When you know who you are and when you love who you are, you don't feel the need to prove anything. Your belief in yourself is not shaken by any external judgment or criticism. Self-care. So we can talk about the physical aspects of self-care. And self-care is what we do to keep ourselves healthy. So from the basics of brushing our teeth every day, keeping good oral health, taking a shower, a bath, eating a balanced diet, staying hydrated, exercising, to then watching what we consume in terms of information. What are we taking on, like media? What music are we listening to? What kind of things do we watch on the internet and television? What do we read? And who are the people that we spend time with? Are they people that uplift us? Are they people that inspire us? Are they people that see us? And also our self-care then comes to our spiritual care. Are we in a place and a space that allows us to expand and grow? When we feel that we're bucking against limitations from others, do we stay to please them? Or do we recognize that it's time for us to move on and expand? Self-discipline. Discipline is keeping your promises to yourself and challenging yourself. Respect yourself enough to set goals for yourself, things that you want to achieve personally. You don't have to tell anybody about this. This is between you and you. The highest form of regard for yourself is to set yourself some goals and then to set about to make sure that you achieve them. Just break it down as something that you have to do or something that you choose to do every day, knowing that every day you're going to get closer and closer to that goal. And discipline is thinking about what you want to achieve in the long term. You take actions that are based on what is going to serve your goal as opposed to what you might need in the moment. You stay focused on what you need, and also you're aware, and your self-awareness is aware of any automatic behavioural patterns that pull you back and might sabotage your forward motion. Self-love ultimately is getting in touch with who we are. A way to start the journey of self-love is to ask yourself, how do I want to be loved? How would I want someone to love me? How would I love someone that I loved? How would I move if I was in love? And when you think about the answers to those questions, then direct them back to yourself. Am I treating myself with love today? Are these actions, are these thoughts? Is this situation that I find myself a loving situation? And then being kind and patient and gentle and compassionate with yourself, because that's what someone who loved you would do. From Buddha, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Rumi, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Find the sweetness in your own heart, and then you may find the sweetness in every heart. Keep listening and tune in to this visualization and breath work practice, especially for self-love. Until the next time, take care. Our success in our relationships aligns with the relationships we have with ourselves. The more we're able to confront and heal our deep traumas and break cycles of abuse, the better we are able to relate to others. At the core of this is true self-love, living and radiating our deep appreciation for who we are as an individual will be reflected in how we are met by others. The deeper we journey into the true knowledge of ourselves, the richer our external experiences are. We are rooted in self, unperturbed by other people's reactions, recognizing they indicate the areas where they have not truly met themselves. We radiate confidence and communicate sincerely, the cornerstone for all of our relationships. The more you reside in the space of self-love, people will see and meet you as your highest self, respect and love you. The Solfeggio frequency accompanying this practice is 639 Hertz for connection, harmony and peace. We will practice a Heart Chakra breathing and visualization technique that will bring you deep awareness into your heart, dissolving any blocks and inviting love and unity. So first, find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed for the next 15 minutes. You may choose to sit in a chair, sit on the ground, or lie down with this practice. Before we begin, let's scan your body and let's just notice if you're holding any areas of tension. Wriggle your toes and circle your ankles to release any stiffness, any tension. Relax. As you move up the body, envision a wave of relaxation rolling up your body and eradicating any tension. Rolls up your calves, your knees, your thighs, your back, your belly, your chest, your shoulders. All the tension is washed away. Let your arms be heavy. Let your palms be relaxed. If you're seated, imagine your head just resting lightly on your neck. Or if you're lying down, allow the weight of your head to be supported underneath you. Allow your jaw to hang relaxed. Release any tension that you're holding around your mouth and your lips. Your tongue lies in your mouth. You may want to touch the tip of your tongue behind your teeth. Soften your cheeks. Relax your forehead and your brow. Place your right hand on your heart center. Your left hand you can rest on your belly. And just for a few breaths, let's just focus and feel the movement of the breath in our body. And as we breathe in, we want to direct the breath down to the belly so that our left hand moves out. And then as we exhale, it will gently release itself in. So let me guide you. Inhale and bring that breath all the way in the body, all the way down down to the belly. Feel the belly filling up, and the breath filling the belly, the chest, the heart, the shoulders. Hold just for a moment, and then just release through the nose. One more time, and as the breath comes through, feel the breath as it travels on the inside of your nostrils all the way down, down, down to the belly, expanding the belly with the breath, filling you up with your breath, up to the chest. The heart area is full. And for 1 second, hold, and then release through the nose. And find your own rhythm with this slow, controlled breath, breathing in. Every time you breathe in, the breath goes down to the belly, fills the belly up first, and fills the vessel all the way up to your chest. And before you breathe out, just hold for 1 moment, and then release through the nose. Now imagine standing in front of you is something, someone, or somewhere that brings joy, that brings love to you. Take a moment to bring that vision to your mind. And with every breath that you breathe in, intensify the details of what you are appreciating. Think about why you love what it is that you are envisioning. Bring to mind a memory that you shared. What made that time so special? Now think of a word that you would use to describe how you feel when you're in the presence of this person, this place, this thing that brings you so much joy. And for a moment, see that word. Say that word in your mind. And as you breathe, fill your body with that feeling of appreciation, that feeling of love. That feeling is filling you from your toes all the way up your legs, from your belly to your chest to the top of your head. And the center of that feeling is in your heart. And feel the intensity of that feeling of appreciation and love and adoration for this person, this place, this thing, underneath your right hand. That love. And as you breathe, feel underneath your right hand that feeling of love just expanding. You may notice a sensation underneath your hand. You may notice heat growing underneath your hand. Recognize that that's love that you're creating. Now, feel that love underneath your right hand. That love is coming from you. Send that love from you to you. All the things that you have said about that person, that place, that thing, give it back to yourself. Appreciate who you are. Appreciate what you have done. Appreciate the love that you are able to generate for yourself. And allow it to flow back into you. And as you continue to meditate for the rest of this track, remember, this is what love feels like when you love you. Place this moment and this feeling in your memory and bring it back to mind whenever you're in a situation when you don't feel so great about yourself, when you don't feel so worthy. Know that you can create love for yourself, and you can walk around with this feeling of self-love and self-appreciation. And imagine if you radiate this self-love and this self-appreciation, how the world will change around you. And tell yourself, I love me. I love me. I love me.